Up next on The Bottom Line, a new program to attack the achievement gap is in full swing. We'll have the story. A local athlete who has become the most extraordinary female swimmer in the world gets ready to dominate in Rio. And we'll visit a job training center that's helping young men rebuild their lives. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. Spending 5 weeks of summer vacation in school might not sound like fun, but a new program underway in Montgomery County schools is working to change that idea, and while doing so, preventing the summer slide in learning. It may be weeks before the official beginning of the school year, but these rising third and fourth graders are working hard, so they are ready for the upcoming year.
Here's where you're going to put your multiplication equation. Here's where you're going to put your addition equation.
They are part of the county's newest initiative to address the summer slide, the Bell Program, Building Educated Leaders for Life. It's a unique public-private partnership aimed at closing the achievement gap. Officials visited Weller Road Elementary School to see firsthand how this program is being implemented. Councilmember Nancy Navarro took the lead on getting the Bell Program funded by the council.
This is the template that we need to utilize in Montgomery County because we have rising needs but never will have enough money. And so leveraging these resources, ensuring that we have high quality programs that are scalable, that are sustainable, I think that's where we need to be.
The 5-week Bell Program is serving 1,000 students in 8 different schools across Montgomery County. The program costs $1.4 million, which is split between the county, MCPS, and the Norman and Ruth Rales Foundation. There are certified teachers and assistants in the classroom, and it includes field trips and other enrichment activities that are a favorite of the young scholars.
I love the most doing math in 3rd grade because it's fun. The thing that I like in this program is that we learn, we do work. But I don't think they give us homework in here.
This innovative public-private partnership between Bell, Montgomery County, and the Rails Foundation offers these children the opportunity to be exposed during the summer months to a robust academic and enrichment environment, which we believe will assist MCPS in reducing summer learning loss and closing the achievement gap. The Rails Foundation is particularly grateful to Councilmember Nancy Navarro and her colleagues from the County Council and their leadership and support of the Bell's time-tested, evidence-based program.
The county's newly appointed superintendent, Jack Smith, was on hand for the visit. He says the school system has a history of excellent outcomes for many children, but not all are successful. He says programs like Bell are a big step in changing those statistics.
The message to children: yes, you can do this. Yes, you can achieve at the highest levels and have all the options and opportunities that anyone else in this society has. That's the message. And the other half of that message that you gave is, yes, we expect you to. And that's our job.
Councilmember Nancy Navarro says she hopes this program can become a model in addressing the achievement gap.
Our goal is that then we can evaluate to ensure that the summer slide actually has not occurred. And if indeed this is going to work like it has in other jurisdictions, because Bell has been present in other jurisdictions, my hope is that we utilize this template to expand it, but also maybe to look at our before after school programming, etc., and try to implement models like these.
2 of this country's biggest Olympic athletes hail from the state of Maryland. Michael Phelps, who was raised in Baltimore, is the most decorated Olympian of all time. But Bethesda's own Katie Ledecky has become the most dominant swimmer in the world. She is a favorite to win several races in Rio next month.
And Ledecky, a commanding force in this event.
Just last month in Omaha, Katie Ledecky qualified for the 200, 400, and 800 freestyle, as well as the freestyle relay. In a recent Washington Post article, some refer to Ledecky as the greatest athlete in the world today.
Michael Phelps among the thousands here, giving Katie Ledecky a standing ovation.
I feel like I had the great experience 4 years ago, and I've gained a lot of international experience since then, and I feel a lot more comfortable on deck and being in this kind of environment than I did 4 years ago.
Hi, Katie. It's so wonderful to meet you. Congratulations. Congratulations on how. We caught up with Katie Ledecky at her Bethesda neighborhood pool 3 years ago after she swept the World Championships in Barcelona. When did you start swimming?
I started swimming when I was 6 for the Palisades team, and I started with my brother, and we joined the swim team together, and it all came from there.
So when you first hit the water and tried out for the team for the first time, did they know there was something special about you?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I was pretty good when I was younger. I mean, I would win some mini-meet events and stuff, but I think probably when I was 12 or 13, I started dropping other sports and just sticking to swimming. And I qualified for Olympic trials when I was 14, I think, the year before Olympic trials. And after that, it was just really committing to that goal of making the Olympic team.
Wow, so at 14 years old, you wanted to make the Olympic team, and you did it by the time you were 15, the youngest person to do so.
Ledecky is one of the finest swims you'll ever see. 15 years of age, the youngest ever.
Now, you've done so well, and you, like we mentioned, you've broken records. Your times are phenomenal. The U.S. women's coach was even quoted as saying, "You're not normal." What do you think about that? I mean, how do you take that?
I take it as a compliment, I guess. You know, it's just been a lot of hard training year in and year out, and it's just such an honor to be a part of a team with such great girls and guys, and we just have fun with what we do. This is the Olympic gold in the 800 free.
Were you prepared, or how did you prepare for all the media onslaught? Did that sort of take you by surprise?
No, not really. It all just kind of came naturally, just doing it all. It's pretty easy to handle. My mom helps me a little bit with scheduling everything.
She wants to look at your medal. Do the little kids at the pool, I bet they idolize you here, don't they? Do you come and give pep talks to the swim team, or do you have any special relationships with the folks who are here at the pool?
I try to spend as much time as I can here, especially in August once I'm done with the meets. And yesterday I was playing basketball with a few of them in the water, and earlier in the year, as swim team was starting up, I came and helped teach some of the little kids. So I try to spend as much time here giving back, because this is where it all started.
And what would you say to a young girl or a young boy who wants to be just like you? What would you tell them?
Just to have fun with it and enjoy every moment in the water, and if you feel like it's the thing for you, to stick with it and just enjoy it and try to find ways to improve in the water.
Best of luck to Katie Ledecky as she heads off to the Olympics. If you drive down Route 108 in Brookville, you'll pass a road that has led to a new way of life for hundreds of young men. Our House is a nonprofit supported by Montgomery County, and it's there where everybody gets a second chance. Deshaun Tucker is working to leave behind decisions he made while living in Baltimore.
I used to rob people.
For the past 2 years, he has been a resident at Our House, a job training center and group home for young men that's been in Brookville, Maryland for the past 20 years.
But the idea, that's what it stayed with me for years and years.
Our House was started by Richard Bienvenu, who began his career as a special education teacher in Arlington County to young men like Deshaun.
They got different plants here, like tomato plants.
Many of whom came from difficult circumstances like abusive homes and foster care.
And it just hit me, wow, you could really do something with these guys if you took them out of their environment and put them in a residential setting.
You get to learn new stuff that you never knew about. Like, you learn about different vegetables.
Bienvenu, or Benny, started his program at Camp Bennett in Brookville for 1 year, then moved to an old hospital in Ellicott City, where it stayed for 8 years. In 2000, Our House moved to its current location in Brookville, which was once home to the Melwood Treatment Center. The property is situated on 140 acres, where the 16 residents, or trainees as Benny calls them, are up by 6:30 to begin work every day.
We're serving kids from all over the state and some from D.C., kids who are at risk of getting in trouble or falling through the cracks, or foster care, who have no families whatsoever.
After being referred by the state, the young men go through a tough interview process before they are admitted to the program. From there, they start to rebuild their lives, literally. Benny and his staff teach the young men skills in carpentry, landscaping, and farming.
We come put them in here. Sometimes they like to run, like you see, like they go up there by themselves sometimes.
To name a few, and along every step of the way, hammering home the importance of good manners and politeness.
How you doing, Mr. Mark?
How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
What is it that you see in these young men that makes you think that what you're doing can help them?
They need help. If we don't do it, unfortunately, not many people are going to do that. You can see inside that they're crying for a second chance. And so many guys inside of them, they're burning up. They're on fire because of what's happened to them when they're younger, the neglect, the abuse and such. It's brought tears to my eyes a lot of times, even my wife's eyes a lot of times. But it's a heck of a job. It's a big mission.
School is also part of the day for the trainees. The young men are in class 6 days a week for 2 hours. And if they stick with the program, they will leave our house with a high school diploma.
So many of them, they just don't believe you. And you can tell, the first weeks here, that the lack of looking in your eye, not trusting adults. I wouldn't trust adults either if I'd gone through what too many of them have gone through. We do have a staff that really care about them. And we do hold them accountable. And we do make them feel special on special days, birthdays and holidays and things. So most of them, you can see them turning around, understanding that, hey, I am a valuable person, I am worthwhile, and I can contribute to society.
There have been close to 400 young men who have gone through the program at our house, which typically runs 1 to 2 years. Deshaun is preparing to move into his own apartment in Rockville. He has a job and is preparing to take the exam to receive his high school diploma. Was it tough?
Yeah, it was real tough. Like, at the end of the day, you're so tired.
Tell me how you felt at the end of the day after you'd accomplished so much.
You feel good about yourself knowing that you accomplished everything.
Is it hard? Benny says it's all about breaking the cycle and giving these young men the chance to be something. So this is the kind of thing you want to do with your carpentry skills that you've gotten here?
Yes, somewhat.
For Benny, seeing the growth and self-esteem of the trainees is gratifying. When he speaks of their successes, he lights up.
The guy graduated, I think he was 18-ish, maybe 19, and he got a job, and he actually hired some of our kids who had graduated. And then he got into buying houses, redoing those. And now he called me last fall and says, Benny, my wife and I, we've done pretty well, and I think I'd like to come and teach for y'all for a year. What a wonderful thing.
There is a new dormitory under construction on the property. When it's finished, it will house 24 young men. Montgomery County is a supporter of Our House and the work it is doing to help at-risk youth, with grant money included in the budget for the past several years.
In many ways, it actually saves Montgomery County funds, because if someone is not incarcerated, if someone is not under the watchful eye of the government every second of the day, then that saves society and it saves us actually dollars and cents.
I'm gonna catch me a fish.
And for Deshaun Tucker, he has hopes of becoming an actor someday. Not biting today?
No.
But for now, he will leave Our House with a clean slate and a new outlook on life.
I actually changed a lot. Like, I'm really not the same person I used to be. You can go so far by learning new things. And I learned that here.
So you might have found your niche here by doing that, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that wraps up this edition of The Bottom Line. We're going to take a brief hiatus while the council is on recess, but there's plenty of new programming coming up this summer on CCM, including a new episode of No Boundaries, where Councilmember Hans Riemer and Maryland State Director of the AARP, Hank Greenberg, meet up at Denison's in Silver Spring to discuss issues facing our seniors. Here's a sneak peek.
Aging needs to be recognized as like the greatest gift that humans have ever had.
Right.
And kind of just get comfortable with clearing the path for all the obstacles.
You're absolutely right about that. You've just given a wonderful rendition of what that whole age-friendly community that Montgomery County has embraced, what that's all about. Because we want to make sure that every aspect of life, whether it's transportation, whether it's education, feeling fulfilled, volunteerism is huge.
Like all of our CCM programming, this will also be available on our YouTube channel. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.